Peace be with you. Welcome back to my channel, Healing Life with Positivity 24/7, 365. 365 and 24/7. This is a platform where we obsessively, compulsively, on purpose, deliberately just focus on everything that is positive. It's all good type of an energy. If you're new to the channel, I hope you like, share, and come in with high vibes. So much so that you decide to subscribe. If you're returning back to the channel, guess what? I love you. Thank you for coming back to hang out with me. For those of you that have been here, obviously you know that this is a platform that I dedicated to my inner child. Just to celebrate her, right? And let her know it all worked out. And even when it didn't look like it was still working out. So from my inner child to your inner child, this is our safe space. This is where we get to be transparent, even if you're just commenting or obviously you can't comment back to me verbally right now. But by the time you reach this video or it finds you or simultaneously you find each other, it will be in the past for me by way of whatever we determine that to be. And it will be in a future moment that you and I will be sharing together. That is so exciting. You know what that says? We are painting the future, even in the right now. Wherever you are, there's something that you got going on that's resonating with this video. And this is why we're manifesting it in our past for our future energies. Listen, I always like to start these videos out by way of just reminding ourselves to stay grounded, stay focused, stay in the now moment that will soon be later and or past by way of future current energy. Listen, I love explaining that to myself. I like hearing myself say that out loud. Thank you for letting me be myself. But I like to start these videos out by taking a nice 3 deep breaths, right? Something about 3 being a charm. Nevertheless, in through the nose and out through the mouth and hold it. There's no rushing this breath. This breath is something that you are absolutely enjoying by way of going with the flow. Again. Three's a charm. That felt really good. I hope it did for you too. For those of you that did not want to partake, I absolutely do respect you and whatever your current energy is. Listen, I heard give yourself permission to move forward. Okay? So you're being your own superhero. And you like this position. You know why? Because whatever you thought had you bound to the pain of the past was really never what it appeared to be. Even if you gained some type of, how do you say, unwarranted trauma, right? Trauma that you didn't expect. None of us expect to be traumatized. It's like, we get into these relationships and we're like, this is going to be a good thing. And then comes trauma, right? So you gained trauma. You gained going down the rabbit hole over and over and over and over again. So much so that you decided to be your own superhero, your own super shero, if you will. You gave yourself permission to be happy, to be okay. Inner child healing. Universe. I just heard that. Give yourself permission. I give myself permission to be happy. I give myself permission to disconnect myself from the pain, from the past. Sometimes it's just another sad love song, right? It's another sad story. And oftentimes we can relive things so much so that we get addicted to the drama. it absolutely does release some form of adrenaline, right? Be that anger, be that happiness, be that wanting, woulda, coulda, shoulda. If I had done this, this is what would have happened. But being your own hero is saying, you know what? This is what happened. Actual facts, excuse me. This is what I did. This is what they did. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to give myself permission to release those parts of my story and reinvent myself in the current moment, but unapologetically, right? What do I mean by that? Sometimes, people feel like if they let go of the pain, then they are, forgetting that it ever happened, or they're letting somebody else win, right? No, it's a disservice to your physical, spiritual, and or your natural body. So if you must go back into that rabbit hole by way of dark night of the soul, that is okay. Just pull yourself out. Do that as many times as you need to until you realize that it is not your current moment, that you can absolutely go back and talk to versions of yourself in those times by way of those timelines. Let's go on back to 1999. Hey girl, hey guy, talk to that version of yourself. Maybe you remember where you were, maybe you don't. But talk to that version of yourself and send yourself encouragement, love, and light, and then move forward. A lot of us thought we were under spiritual attack in the past. Now, some of us were, okay? A lot of us were. But most of what you felt was your future self kicking your ass, coming back to the past, telling you, not him. No, okay, this is going to lead us to 10, 15 years of some bullshit. We're going to get through it. But if you want to skip past that, then you absolutely can. It's called your intuition. It's called discernment. Who else is guiding you in this current moment but your future self? You are an ascended master. Listen, you got the keys and the secrets. You're a walking, breathing time machine. You can also go back into the past and unbreak your heart. Ooh. Rewrite your story. Now, somebody's going to remember your story a certain way, and that's okay. That's their version of the story. That has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with their perception of what they feel shoulda, coulda, woulda happened. And that's okay. Okay? So we're going to pull these cards. I pulled these cards already, okay? I'm just talking and getting immediate intuitive downloads. This says, make time for a vacation. This is the second time that I've seen this card. Now, for those of you that are not privy to spiritual court on my other platform, privy as in it's a full-blown, it's a lot going on in spiritual court, right? Okay. It helps people through the dark night of the soul. That is the purpose for the readings, is to help people understand their pain in a way that somebody's getting righteous justice for what happened to you. Nobody's just saying, hey, this never happened to you. I'm the somebody in spiritual court that says, you know what? You absolutely do deserve some type of spiritual karmic justice. No, you're not invisible. No, you're not forgotten. No, yes, the universe saw what happened, and that's the purpose for spiritual court, right? But in spiritual court, this is what leads me to this long explanation. The last cards that I did, that was the first card that came out, was take a vacation. So that might be for me. Maybe that's for you. But again, it's saying, make time for a vacation. All work and no play makes life really dull. There could be something that you might be encountering by way of a vacation. Could be people, places, and things, new places, new people, new experiences, right? To get yourself out of that Groundhog's Day, feeling as though the days just keep repeating, the time is going by. No, listen, it's an illusion. That's what magic is. It's an illusion. And if you're not imagining what your new belief system is by way of what you're allowing your mind to remember and or process, then who's remembering something for you? That's called projection. Okay, listen. This says, even if it's just in your mind, go on a vacation. Where have you been wanting to visit? What inspirational places have you seen in the photographs? Go there in your mind and imagine what it would be like to be there. Let your senses make this experience as real as possible. Do this for 8 minutes. Travel even in your imaginary travels absolutely will reduce stress. The feeling of being stressed is something that you can absolutely decide to change and or just simply get rid of it. So go on a vacation as often as you need to. It costs you nothing. Ooh, where we going, y'all? You know, my son is really good at this. Let me tell you something about this amazing ascended master that I had. I don't know where this kid came from, but he chose me. Okay, he doesn't like for me to call him a kid because he says that a kid is a goat, and he's absolutely right. So this child, this young god, this wise man, right? He taught himself Japanese. This child. He travels to Japan all the time. He's like, "Mom," he says, "you know, I think in a past life, I was possibly in the Battle of Hiroshima." He says, "I'm obsessed with Asian culture." I'm like, "What is it?" So he travels all the time. He does his research. He looks at the food. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm going to try that." I'm like, "Would you eat that?" He's like, "Absolutely." He's like, "I'm getting the ramen." He's like, "These are the top 10 places to go to according to, you know, world renowned travelers. This is the best place to go to in Japan." And he makes a list. And in his mind, he's there. Now, sometimes I got to call him back to the States. I'm like, "Dude," he'll talk to me in Japanese. I'm like, "Listen, excuse me, can you come back into the moment?" But in his mind has made it so believable that it actually happens. That brings me to just the innocence of a child, the imagining faculty of a child, the pretending. Here's the beautiful part about the workings of the mind. Here's what I've come to find out. Your mind doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what's actually real. But your mind can imagine something so much that it actually happens. Don't imagine that heart attack. Imagine something unbreaking your heart. This says wash your hair, okay? Use some good shampoo, wash your hair, feel your fingers, massage your head, let your head feel every sensation, feel the bubbles, cleanse your hair and scalp. Notice how the water rinses your hair and your mind clean. Being stressed can cause pressure to build up around the head. Massaging your head can help relax complex organs, in the body and the brain. That's not the first time that's come out. Imagine your surroundings. Come to look at things with fresh eyes. A baby doesn't look at their surroundings as being good or bad. She or he looks at their world as being very interesting. Animals do that too. Renew your thoughts again. Don't label what you see. Just take interest and find amazement in every little thing. I like that. Back to the basics, right? Remember the first time you tasted ice cream? It was so exciting, right? You probably can remember, and maybe you can, it doesn't matter, but your body remembers the first time you tried ice cream or something that you really like. So this says, where there is nothing to categorize or label, you will feel free of prejudice and stress. You will feel peace and wonder, right? So it's okay to remember things as though they've happened, but you can absolutely decide how you want to feel about 1999 or 1989 or 1979 or 1949, depending on how young you are. That is totally a choice. So what is it that you want to remember? Maybe you want to remember 2024, January. Listen, what were you doing in January? Were you having same experiences or the same thoughts as you were in 1988? Well, I'm going to need you to come forward and pull yourself up out of that rabbit hole. This says breathe in the moment. Relax your eyes and breathe in, out normally, very naturally. Pay attention to your breathing as if it were a captivating story. What part of your body is doing the breathing? Is it your diaphragm, your chest, or your whole body? How rapid is your breathing? Are your breaths quick or drawn out? Do you find it difficult to breathe? Is there any pain in your breaths? Assess everything you can about your breaths. After that, breathe intentionally for 8 minutes on purpose, deliberately breathing on purpose, deliberately, compulsively, calmly, paying attention to that only, nothing else, for 8 minutes. Just by acknowledging your breaths, you give yourself more life and value. This will also allow your mind and your body to relax, for the focus is now on the breath and nothing else. Breathe in the moment. I like it. I always need little reminders like that. These are not new messages. It's not as if it's something that you've never heard before. Okay. Yeah, but they're just kind reminders. Holy Spirit, beautiful angels, beautiful universe on this beautiful day. What is it that you want us to know? Something's done, okay? So this is how you need to remember this in your mind's eye, obsessively, compulsively, and deliberately. Just do it. I am remembering things as I need to, as they are complete in my mind's eye. What happened 16 minutes ago by way of this video is already complete, okay? Even though you're seeing 0101, because that card is backwards, maybe that's significant. 1010 is what the numbers say. It says, keep your thoughts positive and be patient as everything is working out for the greatest of your good, for the greatest of my good. Trust that your angels are working behind the scenes to help you. Trust, okay? So trusting your spirit team. Surrendering those things that maybe you don't understand by way of your spiritual journey and or your physical journey. And trusting that your angels and or your spirit team is working it out by way of being behind the scenes, whatever being behind the scenes means to you. This says, I am patient. I'm patient with myself. Number 17, the quality of your work can produce when you're doing something alone is absolutely unbelievable. You are very independent as well as very ambitious. You're capable of performing every step of the way with efficiency, focus, and skill. So one might concede that this affirmation, simply put, is you saying to yourself, the quality of my work and what I can produce when I go at things alone, at peace with myself, are absolutely unbelievable. I'm very independent as much as I am ambitious, capable of performing every step of the way with efficiency, focus, and skill. I am divinely, happily independent. This reminds me, there's one thing to be alone and there's another thing to be lonely. I had to learn that. Not in an easy way. I can laugh at it now, that version of myself, but I learned it nevertheless. But there's one thing to be alone, to be lonely, and there's another thing to prefer to be alone than to be in bad company, right? So when one is with themselves, one must be mindful of being good company with self. Thinking good thoughts. I think good thoughts towards myself, whether I'm in a group of people or whether I'm by myself. That was an affirmation. That is an affirmation. And so it is so. So obsessively, compulsively, deliberately, as I control, alt, delete all the thoughts I just don't want anymore. I just don't need them, right? Whatever that was that had me addicted to the shadow, addicted to the drama, addicted to the pain. Oh, it hurts so good. It's a jagged little pill, right? Type of an energy. I'm going to break up with that energy. I'm going to control, alt, delete those thoughts out of my mind and just decide to have new thoughts. So in that place, I don't want to leave my vessel, my spirit void. I'm now going to put good things in those spaces that I've had to eliminate. So as I remove anxiety, depression, sadness, heartbreak, one, I'm going into my past self. Let's get this straight, past self. We're going to unbreak our heart. Okay, we're going to open up our heart chakra. We're going to continue to love as if we've never been hurt, including ourselves. And when we're by ourselves and when we're going at things independently by way of this being a narrow path, meaning this is my life, this is my journey, I'm the one that has to live it. I'm going to decide to consciously have a good conversation with myself, be mindful of my thoughts when I'm alone and when I'm with others. And I'm going to do this deliberately because my mind don't know the difference between what's real and imagined. And so I'm just going to fake it till I make it, until I pull myself up out of that rabbit hole, until I realize, oh, it's just a rabbit hole. It can't hurt me, right? deliberately, compulsively, obsessively, so much so that now my mind is saying this is so. And so my mind believes it. And now I got a new habit. Now I'm addicted to positivity. Now I'm addicted to saying good things to myself. Now I'm addicted to thinking positively when I'm alone and when I'm by myself. The death of the ego happens when you're alone. When you're in the presence of yourself, you have to make a decision to tell yourself the truth or to lie to yourself. And if it's a lie, it better be a good lie. Again, fake it till you make it. I'm okay. Even if you feel like that's not the case yet, just keep saying, I'm okay. Just keep going. Don't give up. Just keep going. Your body will start to like, oh, okay, we're okay. Okay, we're okay. And then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm really okay. People are like, are you okay? I heard about what happened. You're like, yeah, I'm okay. Right? Don't you just love the people that are addicted to pain and drama? As a pop quiz, they always come around and they're searching you. They're like, are you good? You sure you're okay? You're like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? Because you're not wearing your pain anymore. You're not having an old-fashioned conversation. You're not calling up that one friend talking about the past, trauma bonding. Right? Triggering their trauma and they're triggering yours. You're like, yeah, well, my dad did this. You're like, yeah, well, my mom used to do that. They're like, that ain't nothing. I had a sister. Then you're outdoing each other's trauma. We did that. We know what that feels like. And that's how we ended up in those karmic relationships. So now we're deciding consciously, deliberately to one, break that trauma bond with yourself. And if you have to remember it, you might as well just remember it in a way that you are at peace with yourself. It is well, all is good with myself. Oh yeah, I remember that one time. Huh? I was so stupid. I gotta be honest. I was so insecure. That's how you talk to yourself and you laugh about it. Why? Because you're not that way anymore. I'm not that way anymore. Look at me at 1999 on a Monday going into work and I just think it's the end of the world. You can laugh at it. Why? Because you're still here in 2024. You can laugh at what it was that you decided to believe, and you're going to laugh at watching yourself as you got derailed. It was never your cross to bear by way of what your family went through. Those were never your crosses to bear. Okay? Your mother's pain, your father's pain, your sister's pain, whoever's pain, the lover, okay, the drug addicted boyfriend, husband, because you had a healing energy, so you attracted a whole bunch of broken ass people. Okay, listen, it was never your cross to bear. When you decide to let go of that weight, totally depends on you. We should dare ourselves obsessively, compulsively right now in this moment to just let it go, just like that. And so it is. It's a thought. It's over. Listen, 21 represents the gatekeeper. It says you are highly creative with a strong will to succeed. Your imagination is highly charged. It revels itself in everything that it does, from your sparkling conversation to your most prized projects. I am inspiring. I am an inspiration to myself. I am an inspiration to my grandchildren. Listen. So as we put this in the eye, finding a mirror, I am very highly creative with a strong will to succeed. My imagination is highly charged all the time. It reveals to me everything that I have done and what I'm good at. Let's just put something else in there. Why not? We can. So we will. And so it is so. From your sparkling conversation, from my sparkling conversation, to my most prized projects, I am inspiring. I actually am inspiring. My younger self is inspired by how much I've overcome. Whenever I see her little sweet face in my eyes, my mind's eyes, when I think about her, I think about how she signed up for this and how brave she had to have been so powerful that she decided to take the path, of resistance. Okay, going against the grain, the ego. Understanding that you're highly favored and blessed sometimes can get you into circumstances where the Most High is like, okay, now I know you protected, but why did you walk into the devil's den? Why did you just walk into the lion's den? You're like, oh, I'm protected. Nothing's going to happen. I'm good, right? Almost to a fault. Most High's like, yeah, but I gave you common sense. I'm going to need you to use that common sense that I gave you, so you had to learn. You absolutely were protected. But there's a lot of situations that and doors that you should have never been walking into and or crossing those thresholds. And so now wisdom has to ensue. Wisdom has to be your best asset. Wisdom's got to be your best friend by way of your discernment. And always being mindful as to one being in fear or operating out of faith. Am I thinking in fear or faith? Right? Always checking my intentions, always calibrating my emotions, because I know that checking my intentions and or balancing out my emotions will always allow me to see things by way of balance. When I can do that, it absolutely lets me know what's essential, what's vital, and what's necessary, and what it is that I need to lovingly let go. That's what balanced emotions is going to do, be that as it relates to people, places, and things, or all of the above. Nevertheless, number 23, it says you have a zest for life. You are eager to experience anything and everything possible. You love change and excitement and need both to feel truly alive. Live life as an adventure, to be lived to the fullest. I am adventurous. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 1 plus 7 is 8. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 10 is 20. 22 plus 2 is 4. Listen, one might concede that 1 plus 1 is 2. 10. But listen, this is so amazing, because what can I do today to make my day adventurous? What's going to make me happy? What's going to allow me to unbreak my heart? Right? This is the question on a daily. You're the spiritual surgeon. You have helped heal so many people, sometimes without realizing that now Spirit is saying, okay, I'm going to need you to go in and open up the chambers of your heart and flood it with a whole bunch of self-love. So as I put my hand over my heart, I flood my heart, my body, my soul, my mind with a whole bunch of pure love. I am well. It is well. My spirit is happy. I am happy. These are things and conversations that one should be mindful to have when you're by yourself. Obsessively, compulsively, deliberately, bringing yourself to current moment and accepting that all is well in my world. Where's my world? The real world is inner. It's my inner world that's creating my outer world, my outer self, and it absolutely will determine how I navigate by way of people, places, and things. So how do we say this in the I? Find a mirror. It says, I have a zest for life. Say these things to yourself naturally. Some of you might even want to sing it. Whatever you got to do to get these words into your spirit so that your physical body is saying, whoa, I am well, I am good, I am healthy, I am happy, I am love, I am this, I am young, I am, whatever it is, obsessively, compulsively, deliberately. If you got to sing it, dance it, talk it, ride it out. Maybe you're listening to this on your surround sound, keeping your hands on the wheel. Listen, laughing a little bit, whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do to get it into your body, your physical body, you're going to do it. Why? Because you are your own savior and you're connected to the creator of all things. And by way of operating out of faith, you know, just by way of revelatory experiences, that everything's going to work out, even when it looks a little wonky. Yeah, you dated that one guy. What were you thinking? Yeah, you had a baby with that one lady. What were you thinking? It's okay. You won't do it again, not in this life or the next. Listen, if you're smart, this says you have a zest for life. Oh, we're going to do this in I have a zest for life. Yeah, I'm very eager to experience anything and everything that's possible. Love is beautiful and I'm open to it. Love, change, and excitement. And I need both of them because that's what really truly makes me feel alive. Life is an adventure to be lived to the fullest, and I am very adventurous. Ooh, that felt good in my soul to say that to myself. I think for the next 24 hours, I'm going to obsessively, compulsively, and or deliberately just focus on these cards. As a matter of fact, I'm going to keep them separate from the deck, and I'm going to focus on this. Maybe I'll share this with my son. That's the thing with me, okay? I always like to invite certain people into my world. Even when I'm supposed to be alone, I always like to share good things because I really do want to see people happy. I feel like, okay, the more people we got happy, like, can we just all get along? Like, maybe this will fix everything, right? So I have to learn sometimes just to be in that moment with myself. But I always think, oh, this is good information. Who can I share this with? Or sometimes I'm looking at funny videos and I'm like, dang, who can I share this with? And sometimes somebody is myself. I don't know, right? But I feel responsible, obviously, for my son as he is a dependent. And it's honestly a way that I cater to my 10-year-old self, right? If I was a boy, but I'm not. And he's totally like his own version of himself, which children should be allowed to be. Okay? Nevertheless, this is the message. I love y'all. I hope this did something for you. It did something for me. This is the part where we wrap our arms around ourselves, newcomers. If you want to do that, if you're driving, just kind of put one hand over your heart and say, I am worthy, I am happy, I am well. My heart is open to love, self-love, peace, and kindness from within. And I know that that ultimately is obsessively, compulsively, and deliberately creating my outer world. That's just what it is because you spoke it to yourself. So every cell in your body took the order, and that's how it goes. And then you start looking at yourself in the mirror, you're like, damn, I look young. Yeah, because every cell in your body is feeling good and vibrant. Listen, I love you. This is the message. If y'all want to donate, go ahead and donate. If you want to donate some self-love to yourself right now in this moment with me, I will gladly be right here with you to do just the same. And so we did, and so it is. And look at you having a beautiful life. Look at me being a part of your beautiful life, and you're being a part of my beautiful life. I love it. I love you. I will absolutely see you in the next video. Until then, peace be with you.